All right. Hey everyone. So really excited to go through everything that is Eagle Eye and System Surveyor, talk about our partnership today, but we are going to sit tight for another minute or two real quick and let others filter in. So just bear with us for a second. We'll get started here in a bit. If you're just joining, team, we are going to talk about all things Eagle Eye and System Surveyor, but we're going to sit tight for one more minute and let people filter in. Appreciate your patience, and we're looking forward to talking about everything today. All right. Well,
Guess
while we let us go ahead.
guys, I guess we should get going, huh, Brad?
Yeah, you read my mind. So today, everyone, we're going to talk about just trying to streamline your system designs. We'll go through a little bit of how you can do that with Eagle Eye and System Surveyor. And real quick, my name's Trad Kendrick. I focus on a lot of our partner relations here at System Surveyor, and I'm joined by Tony. I'll go ahead and let him introduce himself.
Yeah, I'm Tony Duarte. I'm the Tech Partner Program Manager here at Eagle Eye Network. So I kind of specialize in tech partnerships and API partnerships. Awesome. Well, what we're going to be focusing on today for our agenda, welcome. We've already pretty much got that taken care of. Bridging the gap for integrators, have a little bit of a discussion of, why this software is going to help you out. Introduction to Eagle Eye Networks for those of you who are not familiar with us, and then an introduction to System Surveyor, and we'll kind of go into the meat of really what we're trying to showcase here. And Trad's going to give everybody a live demo, and then we're going to have a Q&A session as well too. So as far as the Q&A goes, any questions that you have, if you will see a box in there where you can actually type in your questions. And then at the end of the webinar, we have somebody, Miranda, in the back that's going to kind of help us get us through the
Mhm.
Q&As, and then we'll kind of answer, the questions the best we can near the end of the webinar, so we're not wrecking the flow.
Yep, there you go.
Excellent. So, one of the reasons I had went after System Surveyor when I came on board with Eagle Eye Networks is I'd used them in the past. Big believer. I was a director at a center where we did a lot of design for system design for national accounts, which meant multi-locations. And
Mhm.
we relied on a group of field people that would go out and do the surveys for us. Now, those surveys were never uniform. We never had an easy way of getting the information. I had roughly 30 designers that were sitting in my centers, and they relied on this information that we would get from the field. That information could be anything from a piece of graph paper that was scanned in and faxed to us to all the way down to something that was practically on a napkin. It was really hard for us to translate and turn it into a design. So when we found this tool, it just really allowed us and the surveyors to go out there and utilize this iPad-based tool, where we would import the drawings into this tool for them. They would go out there and they would snap pictures and just, use their fingers and drag and drop icons onto a screen. And then it also allowed us to take that information, create a quote out of it, share that information with the customers, and bring in the information from the manufacturers into this interface as well too. and all the way down to when the installation team wanted to use this. So I see this tool as a real game changer and really helping enable your organization to make eagle eye systems and get quotes to your end users and customers a lot quicker. Right, next one, Chad.
Mhm.
So, those of you who don't know about Eagle Eye Networks, we've been in this space for quite some time. I would say we're pioneers in it. We are a global company. We're based out of Austin, Texas. We have offices in Amsterdam as well too, Tokyo and Bangalore. You see down here on the slides, we're constantly winning awards for our product. Just kind of gives a small sample of some of the things that we're doing with our cloud there. Eagle Eye Networks is kind of based on five pillars. So the first one, which is the most important, being cybersecure. Our founder comes from this space, so cyber is in our DNA. The second one is we have an open platform. So everything as part of our ideology is being open. So we have open APIs. We're camera agnostic. So it just makes it easier for you to bring in different types of cameras into our system. We're purpose-built, so we have our own cloud. We're not using AWS, Google, or Azure. We have our own cloud, which in turn makes us easier for us to invest in AI. So we have native AI in our own environment. We make huge investments in our own AI. And then lastly is we're global. So when you build something on an Eagle Eye system, rest assured, you'll be able to support your customer globally. And then as far as our global presence, this slide just kind of shows, hey, we're in 119 countries right now. We have 600 plus employees and we have 24/7 support. And our support is very unique because when you call in, you actually get a person that answers the call. You don't go through a phone tree. Very unique in the industry. We support not only the reseller, but the end user themselves as well, too.
Perfect.
All
Well,
right.
thanks, Tony. Yeah. So as we shift a little bit and we'll talk about System Surveyor, some of the basics, some of the things we've been doing, then we're going to look at just our platform with Eagle Eye and talk about how you can make that happen. But first, System Surveyor is just an easy to use system design and sidewalk platform. That's really it. We want to be simple. And I think what sets us apart from some other systems out there are two things: the mobility of our platform, that you can take a tablet out on site without Wi-Fi, get the data you need, sync it so everybody's working together, and the collaboration. When you have all that data in one place, how are you going to share it? How's everybody going to work off of it? There's guest user access, and there's a lot of automated reporting. And that's a little bit of what we're going to look at here in a moment. But when you're using System Surveyor with the Eagle Eye devices in there, these are some of the benefits you should see. So if you're going out on site, getting every bit of data you need on the first site walk. As an integrator, you're capturing the device placement, photos, taking a consultative approach with the customer, showing them the tablet, asking what they think about that location, getting their buy-in. That's going to speed up your design process and time by at least 50%. Now, what are you going to do with the time you get back? Because obviously, the flip side of that is you're going to free up about 50% of your time previously. A lot of our customers use it to build additional pipelines or go after more customers. Some of them use it to drill in more into accounts for expansion. Others will try and just focus on the current projects or the installation of already sold jobs. So you have some decisions to make there. And then when you're getting every bit of data you need on site the first time, you're beating your competitors with getting your bids out and they look more accurate, they look more professional. Your win rate as an integrator and a reseller should increase by at least 20%. So just keep those figures in mind when you're evaluating the impact it's having. And then one quick kind of feature overview before we jump into the demo here. Our newest feature we just unveiled is System Surveyor Camera Advisor. You've probably seen something like this before, but this is the industry's only two-way device recommendation platform. And what I mean by that is, I'll show you in a moment, but you can first pick the Eagle Eye camera you want and then confidently tell your customer what it's going to accomplish from a pixels on target standpoint, or you can do things the opposite way. You can go out with your customer, ask them what they want, and get a generic coverage icon down. And then based on the distance, the level of coverage you need. Maybe it's the analytics you're looking for. The system will filter which Eagle Eye devices meet that criteria. So you know you're picking the right device. So real quick, as we are going to do about a 3 to 5 minute demo here for you so you can actually see what the platform looks like. I'm going to share off of my tablet real quick. So bear with me while this goes through. While I'm doing this, I do want to emphasize you can use an Apple or an Android tablet to do this. Once you get started and get your survey in place, you go completely offline in the field and get what you need. So from a workflow perspective, while Zoom decides to make this go through, all right, real quick, Miranda or Tony, can you guys confirm that that went through for me?
Yes, it did.
Awesome. Thank you. So as we focus on the tablet, we'll move to the desktop here again in a few minutes, team, so you can look at the actual workflow. All you are doing is pulling in a PDF, JPEG, or PNG to get your survey in place. Once that's done, you can go offline. And as you're walking that site with a customer, you can go ahead and note down any device placements by picking from all the different system types you see here on the far left. Of course, we're going to focus on cameras today. So let's say that customer tells you they want a camera in that corner to get the face of anybody coming in that courtyard, and that's going to enter in through that building. Once you adjust that a little bit, you can quickly point the tablet at the area where maybe the camera is going to be installed and go ahead and snap a photo. So as a reseller, an integrator, a partner, you can capture photos and then annotate those so that you, your team, and even that customer are going to have context behind what goes where. This is a pretty self-explanatory feature, guys, but it makes such a difference. Most people that come to us are used to digging through their camera roll or Dropbox file for 100 photos. And that's not going to happen anymore. Now, where the partnership really pays off for you is that the Eagle Eye SE team has basically done all the work where they've created their whole product catalog. It's in an Excel sheet. All you have to do is import that into your account. And now I can pick from this drop-down menu of devices. So if I pick this DB11, you'll notice that coverage widened out a little bit. You get a URL data sheet attached. And most importantly, this model number fills itself out automatically. So in a moment, when we look at the reporting on the desktop, your bill of materials is done automatically for you. You can get that off to the Eagle Eye team, get a quote back very quickly. So let's say you've gone out in the field, you've gotten all the data you need. We're going to move over to the desktop here as we wrap up the demo. I'm going to show you really just three things. The first thing is going to be guest user access. Touched on that earlier with collaboration, but this is just how you'll share this out. It could be with the Eagle Eye team. It could be with a subcontractor you're working with. All you're going to do is add that person as a guest user and then choose the permission levels that they get. If I'm a subcontractor for you down, let's say on the East Coast, you give me edit capabilities, I could walk a whole site for you with my own tablet and go through, and we could collaborate off of that. The next thing we'll show is actually how Camera Advisor functions. Then we'll look at some of the reporting and then wrap up here, guys. With Camera Advisor, though, we were really excited to unveil this because if you are to pick any of these devices and just pull this up, you now know, based on updated Dory standards and the distance of that camera and the angle, that you're going to be giving your customer 72.96 pixels on target. That's identification level coverage. So if there's analytics that they're concerned about, facial identification, you know that this DM08 is going to get the job done and make that work. Like I mentioned, you can do that two ways as well. Now, as we wrap up here and look at the reporting, there's a lot of different reports you can run, but the main thing I want to emphasize is that these are automatically created for you, and then you can adjust them. If you want to tweak what you're seeing in terms of columns here, even in the bill of materials, if you want to condense this down, you can. Got a finished example of what one of those looks like right here in PDF or Excel format. And then if you want to go to the layout report, customize this real quick to add a key, a legend, you can do so with a few clicks. And you can see this is the exported version of that. So we want to make this as simple and as pre-baked as possible for anybody using the system. Now, if there are questions on that, guys, please throw them in the Q&A bubble down there. We'll get to those here in a moment. But as we look to wrap up, with some of the key benefits of the partnership and basically how do you get started with System Surveyor and Eagle Eye? Eagle Eye has a fantastic page on their website. I think we'll talk about that on the next slide. But if you register through there, you're going to be able to test out the system for free. That's good for the tablet or the desktop. You can try it out and make sure it's a fit. Anyone that does sign up for System Surveyor, through Eagle Eye will receive 10% off that first year of any of those paid subscriptions. And again, the main benefit for this is automating your bill of materials and your reporting. So I just mentioned this, but Eagle Eye has a fantastic web page here where if you go through their partner section under integration partners, that form is right there and you fill it out to get your free starter account. There's a really quick video on that page. That's step two on how to import the Eagle Eye devices. And then step three is just to go ahead and get started. And there's helpful videos on there for you as well. I think, Tony, that's the majority of what I had from a slideshow and partnership standpoint. Before we move on, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I tried. You'd mentioned something earlier just about the power of this tool. And I can remember in the past going through and taking photos and having to go download them and then go relabel them and then and try to associate them with something that's on a map. And just that step
Mhm.
alone is kind of a game changer for and people in the field are seeing certain things. When you're designing something from a distance, or you have designers that are sitting in an office, they're not necessarily always walking the site, or maybe you're doing both of these things. That photo shot of where you're going to mount the camera, where you want everything, is just really helpful for an integrator.
Yeah, I think that's a great comment. So, yeah, as we wrap up here, guys, I think like we noted, there should be some questions down here in the Q&A section. Give us a moment, we'll get over there and we'll answer whatever you guys have. So I think Paul, real quick, said if an Eagle Eye reseller is already a System Surveyor customer, how do they get access? Additional cost. So one, there's no additional cost at all. You already should be able to use those devices. And Paul, you get access to the Eagle Eye products by going through their website, and they have those step one, step two, step three. It's simply download their catalog, then import it into your account. There's video links on how to walk you through that. So I'd encourage you to go through the webpage on their end, or if not, we have a great help article section on our website. It's just called Element Profiles. And there's a 5-minute video that walks you through the process too. And we have them on our partner page on our website. So I'd say either one of those two, you can't go wrong. And then, yeah, like I said, you have marketing at Eagle Eye Networks if you have questions, or sales at systemsurveyor.com if you need additional follow up there. Let's see. Jose, yeah, yes. How do we take advantage of the discount if you already have the free account with System Surveyor? So, Jose, go ahead and just, there should be a section where you can upgrade if you want to upgrade to a paid account, and you can chat into the little support bubble over there and just mention that you're an Eagle Eye reseller, and we'll make sure that gets applied to your account. Or, same thing, email sales at systemsurveyor.com. Just simply mention that you're an Eagle Eye reseller, you're on the webinar, and we'll make sure that gets applied to your account. See. Jim, is the System Surveyor Excel list for Eagle Eye up to date? So I think, Jim, there might be one or two new devices out there that we'll work on getting updated. We'll work with the SE team to make sure you guys have the latest and greatest available, and then let everybody know, I'm sure, with some sort of email notification that the product catalog's there. Tony, any questions on your end that you were looking at?
No, I think right now that's all I see at the moment.
Okay. Um, okay, so someone asked about a self-paced training. Yeah, that I think you're talking about our certification program. So, guys, we did unveil System Surveyor certification program where if you want to go through it, it's 2, 3 hours. It's just some modules like you've probably done before. That's a really good way to get familiar with the platform, especially if you're on the free version, kind of just starting to feel it out. That's a good way to understand some of the more advanced features. And there's a basically the element profiles is what we call them, but like the Eagle Eye plugin section would be covered in that too, talking about how to get those in there. Okay. Okay. Let's see. There's one question. What are some of the most common use cases where resellers see the biggest impact with this tool and the Eagle Eye integration? Tony, do you want to take that or do you want me to handle that one?
Yeah, from your perspective, why don't you answer that, Trad?
Yeah. So I think some of the really common use cases we see are when integrators are all doing things in a different way. They don't really have a standard process for doing things, which I think Tony and myself have experience being in those shoes where you're getting stuff down on pen and paper. Maybe you're using an Excel sheet or like a PDF editor or PowerPoint even, and it just takes forever. And we always see that it's really error prone. So I think one of the common use cases to see an immediate impact of using System Surveyor with Eagle Eye is when everyone's doing something differently and you want to get everyone on the same page.
Yeah,
Um, go
I
ahead.
would say another impact is now you have a living document, right? So when service goes out there, they know where everything's at. A lot of times when you're designing things, the installer goes out there and says, "There's no way I can get cable out here." So maybe he has to move the camera over 5 or 10 feet because it's hard pan sealing or something like that. Um, and now you have something where you can actually hand off to the customer as well too.
Yeah, that's a great add-on there. There's one more. Can export designs be branded? Yeah, that's a good question. So yes, you can put your own logo on there or whatever icon you want, and it'll attach it to the reporting if you're going to put that in the scope of work or any kind of proposal. See. Someone asked, what if we don't have a floor plan? That's a good question, and I did not cover that. So if you don't have a floor plan, which again, Tony and I both know, even if customer tells you you might get one, you may not. There's a few things you can do. The first is use our Google Maps integration. So that works just like you type in GPS, you get the address, and it takes the aerial view. It's great for parking lots, outdoor areas. The other way would be taking a photo of a fire escape or any plan that the customer actually physically has. You can use the tablet camera to take a photo on site and then design on top of that. And if you don't have any of that, worst case scenario, you can use our quick start feature, which is just some light drawing tools and shapes. So you could at least get some sort of graphic down and then maybe replace it down the road.
Yeah, great point, Trent. I was going to mention the fire escape plan. And a lot of times what we would do is we would scale everything off the door size. So standard door size is 3 feet. So we just scale the drawing off of 3 feet.
Yeah, that's a good add too for getting those distances set up initially.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a question about the key differences for each of the different paid subscription. Yeah, so I'm happy to touch on that if we want to on those plans. I mean, you guys can find those on our website too. So typically that free plan we talked about is on that far left starters. It's just going to hold you to 25 devices. So it's designed to just get a feel for the system. And then most of our customers end up on the scale plan here. I would tell you the difference between scale and essentials is scale is going to give you that guest access so everybody can work out of that and also give you some of the more advanced Excel reporting. And then if for any reason for larger organizations you need to talk about SSO or API access, that's that enterprise plan. And then for essentials scale, you have the option to start monthly if you want to do kind of like a paid trial period there.
Yeah. And one of the things that we found, Trent, I mean, if you see $50 a month, but the amount of time it takes for you to actually take a resource and have them go back in the office to get a print. I mean, you've just lost $50 worth of labor right there. So it pays for itself pretty much the first time somebody uses it. It's a great tool.
Yeah, that's a great add too. Well, I think team, it looks like that's all the questions we have so far. I know we really appreciate everybody's just collaboration. Good questions today too. Thanks for sitting through everything. On the system surveyor side, again, if you have further questions, please reach out to sales@systemsurveyor.com. And it looks like, oh, excuse me, for Eagle Eye right here, we've got the marketing at EEN.com for anything that comes up later or that you guys don't feel was addressed. But we really appreciate everybody's time and thanks everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everyone.